International licensing. The manufacturer in the domestic country is called licensor and the manufacturer in the foreign country is called licensee. The process of the licensing is as shown in the figure. Licensing is a popular method of entering foreign markets. The cost of entering foreign markets through this mode is less costly. The domestic company need not invest any capital as it has already developed intellectual property. As such, the domestic company earns revenue without additional investment. Hence, most of the companies prefer this mode of foreign entry. Ang licensor ay nasa nation lamang or halimbawa ay sa Pilipinas lamang. Ang licensee naman ay para sa foreign countries. Ang halimbawa ng licensing ay may ginawa kang isang product, halimbawa damit, then gusto mo siyang tangkilikin ng mga tao at sumikat. Ang gagawin mo, dadalhin mo siya sa isang sikat na company at ipakita yung ginawa mo. Sikat siya na method for entering foreign markets and also this mode is less costly. And domestic company, hindi na nila kailangan mag-invest ng capital basta ito ay developed property. As such, the domestic company earns revenue without additional investment. Most of the company mas prefer nila. Basic issues in international licensing. First is boundaries of agreement. The company should clearly define the boundaries of agreement. They determine which rights and privileges are being conveyed in the agreement. Sa bawat company, dapat na-define nila yung boundaries ng kanilang agreement. Nade-determine yung privileges na dapat iparating. Both parties dapat alam yung agreement, hindi pwedeng sumobra sila sa agreement kasi mababiolate nila. Second is the determination of royalty. The most important factor in deciding the licensee is the amount of royalty. It is needless to mention that the licensor expects high rate of royalty while the licensee would be unwilling to pay much royalty. However, both the parties negotiate for a fair royalty for both the sides in order to implement the contract more successfully. Ang determination of royalty is kinakalculate nila yung royalty percentage or net revenue. May mga product na mula sa mga licensor or domestic country na gustong export sa mga developed country. So, ginagamit nila yung international licensor, both licensor and licensee, gumagawa mo sila ng agreement, kaya hindi basta-basta na mag-cost or mag-invest agad-agad. Determining right and privileges and constraints. Another factor in granting license is determining clearly and specifically the rights, privilege, and constraints. For example, if the Indian Iowa TV uses interior imports in order to reduce price, boost up sales, business, and profits, the image of the Japanese licensor would be damaged. So dito, ang halimbawa niya, if ang Indian licensee of Iowa TV is gumamit sila ng interior inputs in order na ma-price boost yung kanilang sales and profits. So, ang image ng Japanese licensor is madadamage. So, that's why kailangan ma-clear at ma-specific yung rights and privileges and constraints nila. Dispute settlement mechanism. The license and licensor should clearly mention the mechanism to settle key disputes as disputes are bound to crop up. This is because settlement of disputes in courts is costly, time-consuming, and hinders business interests. So dito sa dispute of settlement mechanism, dapat alam nila yung mga gagastusin nila, yung time na makukonsume nila, and kailangan clear yung kanilang mechanism of settlement para iwas alitan. Agreement duration. The two parties of the agreement specify the duration of the agreement. Licensing cannot be short-term strategy. It would always be appropriate to have long duration of the licensing. Tokyo Disneyland demanded on a 100 years licensing agreement with the Walt Disney Company. Dito naman sa agreement of duration is yung tagal ng kanilang agreement. So sa international licensing, hindi pwede ang short term. So that's why dito sa kanyang halimbawa, ang Tokyo Disneyland ay nag-demand sila sa Walt Disney ng 100 years of licensing. Now let us proceed to the advantages of international licensing. Number 1, licensing mode carries relatively low investment on the part of licensor. Number 2, licensing carries low financial risk or the licensor. Number 3, licensor can investigate the foreign markets without much efforts on his part. Number 4, licensee gets benefits with less investment on a research and development. Number 5, licensee escape himself from the risk of product failure. Next is disadvantages. Number 1, licensing reduces the market opportunities for both the licensor and licensee. Pepsi-Cola cannot enter Netherlands and Heineken cannot sell Coca-Cola. Number 2, both the parties have responsibilities to maintain the product quality and promoting the product. Therefore, one part can affect the other through their improper acts. Number 3, costly and tedious litigation may crop up and hurt both the parties and the market. Number 4, there is a scope for misunderstanding between the parties despite the effectiveness of the agreement. The best example is Oleg Cassini and Chauvin. Number 5, there is a problem of leakage of the trade secrets of the licensor. Number 6, the licensee may develop his reputation. Number 7, the licensee may sell the product outside the agreed territory and after the expiry of the contract.